having heard you, it appears that it is an effort in disguise to freeze the account, since you are claiming to be the original Trinamool, and the faction of the Trinamool which you belong to, they does not have anything or any authority with regard to those three accounts.
I'm sorry, Millards. I'm sorry. In which case, the Constitutional Court will be determining that issue. I'm sorry, Millards. That's why I
No,
said
but today
18.
I am not supposed to determine that issue, Mr. Parameshwar.
I agree, Millards. I agree.
Yes.
Because in fact, my submission,
Considering the issue involved in this writ petition.
Millards, the issue
Yes, I have
involved.
heard you. Yes, Mr. Mehta.
Would your lordship just give me a minute, Millards? Would your lordship just give me
No,
a minute?
no further. Sorry. Yes. Yes, Mr. Mehta.
Yeah, yes. My lord, may I, my lord, just assist your lordships on the question of law? Because sometimes, my lord, your lordship's forum is used, my lord, for making some submissions, my lord, for headlines and for political purposes. My lord, my learned friend's submission, my lord, was, and I am surprised as an officer of the court, that the difference of votes was only 4% share. My lord, would it make any difference to your lordships or to the police if it was 18% difference in law? What is, Manoj, what are we talking about, Manoj? We don't argue here to make headlines, number one. Number two, Lord, kindly see section 106, the way, Manoj, I have read it. The way, Manoj, the police has read it. Kindly have a look at, Manoj, at 106. And, Manoj, one thing is very clear, Manoj, and there are large number of judgments that mala fides would not play any role in case of criminal investigation. The court would go solely based upon the investigating report and the way investigation has proceeded. Lord, it's a settled law by several judgments that you cannot allege mala fides. Lord, kindly see 106, my lord. I'll just dissect the way, my lord. I would wish your lordships to read the section, my lord. Is, according to me, is the correct way. Because we are not dealing with, my lord, only this matter. But there would be several, my lord, 106 cases, my lord, in future also.
Yes.
Any police officer may seize any property which may be alleged or suspected to have been stolen, or which may be found under circumstances which create suspicion of the commission of any offense. Well, this is the power of seizure. Section 106 is power of attachment and ultimately forfeiture. The properties goes forever. 106 is an interim power. And the magistrate does come into the picture, my lord, under subsection
107.
No, 103,
Yes.
3, my lord, my learned friend, my lord, conveniently did not read it. My lord, 2, first let us read, and I have said something in my affidavit. Such police officer, if subordinate to the officer in charge of a police station, shall forthwith report the seizure to that officer. I have to inform my senior officer. But here, my lord, the person who is seized is himself, my lord, the officer. So there is no question of
So he was an authorized officer.
Officer. I'm grateful.
Yes.
Now, please see
subsection 1. Yes.
Yes, my lord. Please see subsection 3. What are, my lord, the precautions taken by the legislature? Every police officer acting under subsection 1 shall forthwith report the seizure of to the magistrate having jurisdiction, and the property seized is such that it cannot be conveniently transported to the court, or where there is difficulty in securing proper accommodation for the custody of such property, or where continued retention of the property in police custody may not be considered necessary for the purpose of investigation. He may give custody thereof to any person on his executing a bond, undertaking to produce the property before the court as and when required, and to give effect to the further orders of the court as the disposal of the same. So, my lord, it would be for the magistrate to decide temporarily the possession of the property, my lord, would be handed over to whom. Now, my lord, provided that the property seized under subsection 1 is, my lord, we are not concerned, that is for speedy decay, speedy and natural decay. My lord, the difficulty now, my lord, is this. My lord, if your lordships, my lord, whether directly or indirectly, intentionally or unintentionally, I know your lordships are fully conscious of the fact that the factum, who is the real TMC, cannot be gone by me as a investigating agency or by your lordships, my lord, in a constitutional 482 jurisdiction or even under 226 jurisdiction. The moment, my lord, an order is passed that maybe under the screening of some agency, maybe a former judge, as your lordships are contemplating, a particular faction would operate the account. My lord, that would be giving a, my lord, temporary or de facto recognition that that particular faction is the real
So
TMC.
that will be clarified in the order, that this order permitting the directing the special officer to operate the account, considering the writ petition or considering the issue flagged in this writ petition, will not in any way be inferred as an stamp of approval so far the recognition of this faction of Trinamool is concerned.
Now, another aspect.
Therefore,
Please,
because Mr. Mehta, we should not make an attempt to expand the scope of the writ petition, taking note of the complaint dated 18 June 2026. As I expressed my mind on last occasion very specifically, that on 18 June at 6 p.m. in the evening, this complaint was lodged, and
Yes.
on 19 June, those three accounts were seized, as
Correct.
if this complaint was lodged only to seize the accounts,
No,
nothing
no,
else.
let
So
me
what
say-
were the materials before the
Yes,
police
yes,
authorities
yes.
at the time of seizing the?
I have filed an affidavit. I have filed an affidavit. Please take my affidavit, my lord, my report.
But again, Miller, these have not been served.
No,
Wait,
this is
let
an
me-
investigating document. It
No, no, you can file a report, not an affidavit.
No, if it is a report, my lord, it is a report.
But the court did not invite them, subject to correction, to file any report.
Yes.
No, court would never invite anyone. Why should the court invite? It is our duty to file it. My lord, please come to page 3.
Page 3.
Page 3, my lord.
Yes.
There are 9. My lord, I have already said rest of the things, my lord, how section 106 is a interim measure and final measure would be before the magistrate under 107. But now para 9. I respectfully submit that after the seizure and upon investigation, I'm sorry, my lord.
After the seizure.
एक second. Lord, para 3.
That is what I am trying to elicit from the learned advocates, since you are appearing, Mr. Mehta, that what were the materials? Today,
Para 3.
if an attempt is made to justify the stand of the police authorities by debit freezing those accounts by subsequent materials which were
Lord,
obtained,
I'm sorry,
that
I
will
missed.
not be satisfied.
Lord, I must
After
satisfy.
seizure, after seizure.
Forget para 9.
Yes.
I must. Lord, I have understood your lordship's question on the first day. What is bothering your lordships? And that is answered in my affidavit. I wrongly relied upon. I started wrongly with 9, but please come to my lord. Para 3. I should have, my lord, read para 3 first. My lord. I state that during the investigation conducted so far, a strong prima facie case has emerged showing sudden withdrawal of high amounts from the accounts now frozen in question just 3 days prior to FIR, and a huge sum transferred into said accounts from another account of All India Trinamool Congress Party. Please see, my lord, 4 is important. Let me answer your lordship's question. I state and submit that the action
Before,
of
Mr. Mehta, before coming to paragraph 4, in paragraph 3, is there anything which required to be taken into consideration as not an appropriate steps taken by the petitioner with regard to maintenance of those accounts
my
or
lord, can I
operating those accounts?
further read, my lord? Maybe that would assist your lordship's question.
Yes.
Yes, my lord. Kindly see 4 and 5.
Yes.
I state and submit that the action of requisitioning HDFC Bank to freeze the account under 106 is not taken non-est or without applying mine. Now 5 is relevant. I
Yes.
state and submit that after registration of the FIR, 3 statements were recorded. I had also received 7 complaints from 7 members of Legislative Assembly, substantially making out a case of suspicion that accounts in question have been used or is being used or will be used for commission of the offense. It was only after applying all the conditions under 106 BNSS that the power of, Lord, before the account was frozen, we have recorded 3 statements and we received 7 complaints. It is not, my lord, that
So clinching paragraph is paragraph 5. Mr. Mehta, clinching paragraph is paragraph 5.
correct, my lord.
Yes.
My lord, paragraph 5 says that before I frozen the account, my lord, let me, my lord, place it for your lordship's consideration.
Yes.
Before I freeze the account, before I exercise powers under 106, my lord, we had recorded 3 statements. It is not as if the FIR is registered and within half an hour account is frozen. The way, my lord, it is sought to be projected. We had 3 statements recorded, which made out a case. We received 7 complaints from 7 MLAs. And thereafter, my lord, we found that this is a case to exercise 106. It is not without, my lord, any material or without any further investigation. Now, your lordships may kindly see.
Just I am trying to express my mind, since you are
Yeah,
making
please do
submission
that. my lord.
in connection with the statements made in paragraph 5, that I had also received 7 complaints from 7 members. You may, the concerned police authority, being the investigating agency, may have obtained 70 complaints. But
Not obtained,
wait,
my lord. I'm sorry, not
may have,
obtained.
may have received 70,
Received. My lord, obtained
not
has a very
70,
serious meaning.
not 7, but 70 complaints, 70.
Yes,
But
yes.
what are the materials, relevant materials, which led the investigating agency to direct the bank authority to debit freeze the account?
So based upon the 3
Well,
statements,
only one thing, they've all taken 25 lakhs, all 7 are rebels. All have taken 25, same 7 rebels who are colleagues of the main complainant.
Yes, Mr. Mehta.
but I'm really happy that Dr. Singhvi is not before another court seeking another 5 minutes by the clock. And he is here, my lord. Otherwise, he is known for that.
For your information, I was here when you were not here all the while from inception.
No, I heard you fully. I'm always
yes,
here. I
Yes,
never jump from.
yes, Mr. Mehta.
Anyway, my lord, it's a petty thing, my lord, we'll not discuss. So, my lord, before that, we had 3 statements and 7 complaints. But the 7 complaints, whether they were by the MLAs who were defecting or MLAs who were not defecting, my lord, it's not my concern as a police officer. I have to make out, my lord, my satisfaction that this is a case where, till further investigation takes place, I'll have to ensure that the account is not operated and the amount is not further fizzled out. An account is fizzled out, my lord. It was found that, my lord, kindly kindly see para 9 again, my lord. Now,
Yes,
this is, my lord, post freezing. This is
I
post
refer to
freezing.
submitted after Caesar. Yes,
Yeah, correct,
Yes.
my lord. I'm just saying, my lord, what could happen? What
Yes.
would have happened if seizure would not have taken place in a timely manner? That's what I'm trying to satisfy a lordship. my lord, and I'm
the
come
court
to-
is also anxious and eager
Yes.
to protect those accounts. That's
Yes.
why court will not permit
Let-
the petitioner to operate the account as it was being operated before lodging complaint. That's
Well-
why court is contemplating to appoint a special officer who is retired judge of this court and to regulate this operation of these 3 bank accounts
Well,
in
well,
order
I-
to facilitate the investigating agency to carry out meaningful investigation.
Lord, I'm grateful, my lord, and I'll
Yes.
respectfully, my lord, assist your lordship, but please have a look at para 9. What is happening, my lord? This, my lord, playing a victim card after, my lord, I'm not concerned. I'm not a politician. I'm
Because
only a lawyer.
what is troubling me, Mr. Mehta, as I expressed my mind yesterday, last occasion also, that why such a lightning speed everything happened. When a poor citizen
Sometimes-
appears before, comes to a police station, then the police is not activated. But when a complaint was lodged with regard to 3 accounts in the evening on 6 p.m. and on the next day morning, it was intimated to the bank authority to debit freeze those accounts.
Be investigated in the meanwhile. That's what exactly I'm telling your lordships. Lord,
So where,
sometimes what
where is the
happening-
satisfaction? Where
Lord-
is the satisfaction so far the investigating
Lord,
agency is
kindly
concerned
give me a minute.
before debit freezing those 3 accounts?
Lord, kindly give me a minute.
Yes,
Lord,
yes.
kindly-
You will
kindly
get more than a minute.
No, my lord. I am not to go anywhere else, my lord. I am
Yes.
Lord, kindly see. Sometimes, my lord, when the police
After all, Solicitor General of India is before me.
no,
I
no,
have
my
to
lord.
hear. Yes,
My lord, a lawyer is before your lordships, and it's a
Yes,
privilege
yes.
to assist your lordships.
yes.
I never carry that burden on my head. But I'm still,
Yes,
my lord,
yes,
learning.
Mr. Mehta. Yes,
talk.
Mr. Mehta, carry on.
The difficulty is, my lord, sometimes when the police acts in time, Lord,
I have a
having-
bad habit of expressing my mind during course of hearing. What can be
Lord,
done?
on the lighter side,
Yes.
my I'll not go into the details, but in one of my books, I mentioned about one jurist who said that it's always better that a judge speaks his mind because that at least ensures that he's not sleeping.
Yes.
On the lighter side, my lord. That was some British judge, my lord, and a British lawyer. It's not Indian context. Oh, para 9, my lord. Kindly see what would have happened, my lord. Sometimes if the police doesn't act with alacrity, Lord, it is always said that it comes only after the offense is committed. Sometimes with exit alacrity, that why did you do it in a haste? Well, para 9 is the answer.
Yes, paragraph 9.
Yes. I respectfully submit that after the seizure and upon investigation conducted so far, it is found, well, this is what we could prevent,
Yes.
that high value transactions have taken place in the immediate past of registration of first information report and after declaration of results of the West Bengal Assembly elections. I state and submit that the investigation conducted so far reveals some other accounts having large volumes of funds and appropriate orders are passed, etc., etc. Lord, so investigation is going on. Lord, my only worry is, Lord, as an investigating agency, Lord, your lordship may permit, Lord, suppose, Lord, your lordship permits Dr. Singhvi's group to discharge, Lord, their responsibilities towards the day-to-day functioning, maybe through the honorable judge your lordship would appoint. It would prima facie give, Lord, confirmation that prima facie they are the real TMC. If your lordship permits,
How is the state concerned about this?
Mr. Neeraj Kishan call, I am concerned. Look, I am supposed to protect the
The
property.
state is taking sides. Even if there is a faction, how is the state
How are they
concerned about
concerned?
this investigation?
My learned friends, my lord, interrupted at a very right stage. My lord, I must give them that credit. They understood
Let
what
there
I
be at least a show of impartiality.
Yes, yes.
At least a show of impartiality.
Mr. Datta, I have opposed you when you were a law officer on many occasions, and let's not go into it. Let's not go into it. My lord, my
No, I'm
worry.
talking about the state, not you personally, sir.
No. I am also talking about the state, not Mr. Datta personally. You represented the state, of course. But let's not go into those unpleasant things. Lord, my difficulty is, Lord, and this is, Lord, my concern, that either way, Mr. Kaul also should not be permitted to operate, because that also give a premature that maybe that they are the real TMC. But the decision can be taken only by the election commission, and that on that there is no dispute. If your lordship's, my lord, very right concern is that the day-to-day administration or day-to-day functioning or day-to-day expenditure needs to be taken care of, my lord, your lordships can direct IO to do that. There would be no issue, my lord, whether this group or that group. Let, my lord, the election commission decide that group.
How IO can be directed, because IO is the party in this writ petition. He is investigating the matter. Under his direction, accounts were frozen. So therefore,
Now,
a feasible and a reasonable approach has to be taken by this court
I
in
bow
order
down.
to strike a balance in between the concern expressed on behalf of the respondent authorities, being the investigating agency, vis-a-vis the challenge which has been thrown by the petitioner by presenting this writ petition.
My lord, kindly, my lord, visualize
Mr. Mehta.
visualize a position. My lord, we your lordships and me.
Mr. Mehta, please come to the relevant part of the complaint
Lord,
lodged on
may I flag one more point? Lord, I'm
Yes,
not. Lord,
yes.
One more point, Lord. I'm just flagging it. Lord, Dr. Mr. Datta has given a list of day-to-day activities, my lords.
Yes.
That can be, my lord, discharged by anyone your lordship decides. Lord, my worry is, Lord, suppose Dr. Singhvi's client come that we need 40 lakhs for organizing a rally. And
For?
Mr. Kaul's organizing a rally from the funds. And Mr. Kaul's client also comes that we want to have some printing of some material, and we also want 20 lakhs. Lord, how the learned
No,
judge?
Mr. Kaul's client has no authority so far this present account is concerned as on date.
Lord, that is
Because he has not
exactly-
stated in his complaint that he is having authority to operate this account.
But Lord, that is
How
exactly where
that is what this court is trying to express to all the learned senior advocates representing the parties, that why an attempt is being made to expand the scope of the writ petition.
no, but Lord, there is no.
A concern is expressed with regard to utilization of funds which are lying in those three accounts. Now, it is also the consideration of this court while hearing this writ petition that concern which has been expressed by the de facto complainant has to be taken into consideration while passing an order. But there a balance has to be struck in between the concern expressed by the de facto complainant vis-a-vis the right of the account holders to operate their account. Now,
But-
if,
but-
if subsequently there is an alteration of situation with regard to composition of the party or the recognition of the faction of within the party, then an application can be preferred before this court for reconsideration of the issue. But today, since as the situation is existing, so there is no nothing further is required to be considered. I am the account holder. My right to operate the account is impacted by the acts taken by the investigating authority.
Lord,
Now,
I am the
now that
account
is
holder.
challenged before this
Because I
court.
just
that
want-
Mr.
I want-
Kaul
and-
can clarify.
Prima
Manoj,
facie,
can
I am
I-
calling Mr.
Yeah, I
Mehta,
just one small
Can I-
submission.
that is
Just a
challenged
minute, permission.
at whose instance, who was member of the Trinamool Congress, who is one of the beneficiaries of those three
That
accounts,
is an oral
who
statement. I
utilized
believe
this
it to be
account,
true, Lord,
who
but I am
won the fourth election, who won the assembly election, and after publication of result, he lodged a complaint.
Plus, I have just
Okay.
one
Manoj,
Manoj,
can I just
Manoj,
make
just
one submission?
Minute,
I
Doctor,
just take
Mr.
it.
Kaul,
Just permission.
Mr. Kaul, only a
Yeah,
minute.
Mr. Kaul.
That's
Yeah.
the moral judgment your lordships would be taking, which perhaps, my lord,
That's
lies
right.
with the Election Commission of India.
That's right.
Manoj,
Yes,
can I
yes.
make one
Or
submission?
So
not.
that's why, yes, if ultimately if a particular faction within Trinamool Congress, All India Trinamool Congress is recognized by a competent authority, in that event, it is brought to the notice of this court that a scenario is changed.
No,
So
that is
therefore,
not-
then court,
that is
that's
for
why
Mr.
court
Kaul.
is, that's why court is contemplating that to regulate the account by appointing an special officer, so that the amount cannot be siphoned out.
Only day to day, your lordships are contemplating
Yes, only day to day.
Not,
As
my
it
lord,
is-
for organizing rallies or something.
No, as it is averred in paragraph 8 of that
Lord,
supplementary.
that, my lord,
Nothing
as a
more than
police
that,
officer, I
Mr.
cannot say
Mo-
Mr.
uh,
Kaul
Mr.
and Mr.
Mehta.
Parmeshwar can say.
Manoj, can I just make
And Mr. Mehta, I'm telling you, just a minute, Mr. Parameshwar. Just a minute, Mr. Mehta, please come to the relevant part of the complaint dated 18 June 2026, which is at page annexure P1, page 41 of the writ petition.
Yeah, yes, I have that.
Now, if you read the last paragraph of page 41, especially the last sentence, there is also a reasonable apprehension that if prompt action is not taken, relevant electronic records, banking data, and financial evidence may be altered, concealed, and dissipated. Now, court will direct the bank authority to preserve those original relevant electronic records, banking data, and financial evidence. And if necessary, that will be shared with the investigating agency for the purpose of meaningful investigation.
But yeah, my lord, if it is for day to day, my lord, expenses, my lord, I think except Mr. Kaul and Mr. Parmeshwar, I cannot say anything beyond that.
Yes.
It may not be, my lord, for any.
Just one.
Manoj, can I now just make two submissions for your
I have
lordship?
heard Mr. Parameshwar.
Manoj, may I? I'm sorry, my lord, at that stage I thought the SG was starting. I just stepped out for a minute. I'll just take 2 minutes.
And before dictating this order, I'm expressing my mind, and you will respond to this. All senior advocates are there. That I have decided to appoint senior retired judge of our court, Justice Subroto Talukdar, former judge of this court, to be the special officer for the purpose of operating the bank accounts. But he is father of the advocate who is representing respondent
One of the
number
parties. We have,
4. If you have any objection, then you can raise it.
we don't have.
Well, as far as I'm instructed, none, unless Mr. Kishore Datta says something, I can make it very clear, we have none,
If
even
it
though.
is your lordship's choice, my lord, I don't think it
Manoj,
can be.
that I
okay.
don't think
No,
anyone
but it
will.
is my duty to express it, reveal it,
Fair enough,
express
fair
it
enough.
to
We
the
bow down.
senior advocates representing the parties.
Manoj, that's very fair of your lordships. We leave it to your lordships. That's very fair of your lordships.
And please
Yes.
record that you asked us and we said so. Manoj. We said
And
so.
my lords, can I just make 2 submissions and I'm done, my lord? Just 2 brief submissions. My lords, just keep these 2 things in mind, that today, in the light of the judgments of the Supreme Court, under section 102, which is akin to 106,
6.
an account is property and orders can be passed as far as that is concerned of seizure by the police. 107, my lords, is a case where you have a reason to believe that it's proceeds of crime. That's a later stage. 106 is
Mr.
the
Kaul,
stage
I am
where
just,
an investigation is on.
I'm just interrupting you, Mr. Kaul. This is the view which I have expressed at the beginning of at the beginning of hearing, when Mr. Dotto was trying to rely upon a judgment that this is not within the ambit of section 106 subsection 1, that that the authority, that the investigating agency cannot issue a prohibitory order upon the bank to seize the account. That I have, but I have expressed my mind that I am not in addendum with the view expressed by those judgments, and that gets fortified by your submission.
Your lordships are
that there is a
absolutely
judgment
right.
of this court. Please
Your
supply me
lordships are-
that judgment.
Lordships are absolutely right, because your lordship's view is completely in sync with the state of Maharashtra versus Tapas Neogi, a 1999
Oh, that is
judgment
99.
directly on the point.
There has
Now,
been so many
secondly, my
judgments in
lords,
the
if my
past 3
learned friend
years.
will not interrupt, my second point for your lordship's kind consideration is this. My lords, the attempt is not even for a minute to suggest that your lordship should decide who represents the Trinamool Congress. That's not the
Right.
attempt. That is for the election commission to decide. And there are any number of judgments of your lordships to say that the symbols order, which is passed under Article 324 of the Constitution, gives plenary powers to the election commission to decide which is the faction which represents the party when there are rival factions. The only submission that I'm making for your lordship's kind consideration is that if section 15 and 18 of the symbols order are read in their totality, read with the judgments of the Supreme Court from Subhash Desai downwards and upwards, there are power of interim orders also that the election commission can pass to remove any difficulty, any problem in recognizing who represents the party. I put a question to myself that when a question comes to the election commission as to which rival faction is the real Trinamool Congress, here for instance 63 out of the 80 MLAs are supporting us, who is the real party? In that case, the
But
election
again,
commission can also...
in a different matter, we are trying to enter into an arena which is not an issue.
Manoj, can I just complete? Can I
That
just
will not
complete?
permit Mr.
Manoj,
Kaul
can I
to
complete?
argue on this.
No, my lords,
To argue on this.
No, my lords, I started by saying I'm not saying that your lordships will decide who is the rival faction. I'm not saying that.
Yes.
All that I'm saying is, please let me just complete
And
this.
court is aware of its power under Article 226. of
Right,
the
my lord, your
Constitution of
lordships
India.
powers under 226, not for a minute. Your lordships are absolutely right to do complete justice and substantive justice. My submission for your lordships kind consideration is that if the election commission's powers are plenary to decide which is the rival faction which represents the party, it also has the power to pass interim orders under section 18.
So
And
in
those interim orders
anticipation,
will include
in
powers as to
anticipation
running
of
of
the power,
accounts and running of
Mr.
party
Kaul, in
offices.
anticipation of the power which is to be exercised by the Election Commission of India in connection with the proceeding which is lying or
Pending.
which will be considered by the commission, the Article 226 court will not pass any order.
No, my lords, my respectful submission for that will be this, that in the meantime, when there is a serious dispute as to who represents the party, can such a petition be maintainable at the
Let the
behest of a
decision be
party
taken by the
which does
Election
not
Commission of
represent the
India.
party?
If the situation is altered with regard to recognition of a faction faction within the Trinamool, then you will have
No, my lords,
Mr. Kaul, that you have the every right to approach this court
So
for
my only request
modification
is,
of the order.
my only request is, your lordships have indicated your lordships are appointing someone to run to handle the account and run the
Yes.
day-to-day affairs. My only request to your lordships is one, please keep this in mind. I don't want to take any more of your precious time. Please keep in mind that there are two rival factions whose dispute is pending in the commission. So when the honorable judge who deals with the matter must take into account the views of both the factions when the account is run, it can't be that the petitioner who's come before your lordships is the only representative of the Trinamool. According to us, we are the Trinamool, not them, with overwhelming majority and a national convention already held. All that I'm saying is our views are equally important and ought to be taken into account by the honorable judge that your lordships are appointing while dealing with the expenses for day-to-day expenses of the party.
Agree.
It can't
No,
be
that I will not permit
can't tomorrow
at this
that a
stage.
party
No,
which
that
came
will
as a
be a total
petitioner
chaos. Before.
misuses it.
That I will not permit today. that your view will be considered before the special officer who is to be appointed. The
That's three
person
sentences and rejoinder.
they will present the check before the special officer, and special officer will put a further signature on the check, and then check is to be presented before the bank
Lordship,
for
please.
Manoj,
for
our
day-to-day
difficulty-
administration.
Manoj, our difficulty-
Not beyond
Three
that.
sentences and
I am
rejoinder.
not-
Three
I am
sentences
not
and
going
rejoinder.
I am
Our
not going to
difficult-
travel the special officer by giving a leverage to the particular faction of Trinamool Congress to appear before the special officer and to frustrate the order which is going to be passed.
No,
today.
my lords, all that I'm saying is at least hear the
First,
views.
get your stand
That's
or get your position fortified by the order to be passed by the election commission, and then approach this court for a leave or a particular order which is to be
Manoj,
passed
all
by this
that I'm
court
saying is
if
when a
this court is approached.
Mr.
Manoj,
Call,
when it-
Mr. Call, Mr. Call, Mr.
Three
Call,
sentences and rejoinder now. Mr.
Mr.
Rejoinder.
Call, only a minute, my lord. If your lordships
Just a
are considering day-to-day administration, day-to-day expenses, my lord, possibly, my lord, this faction or that faction may not arise.
Yes.
Datta has the list, my lord, of payment to the salary of employees, etc., my lord. That can be
No, no, no.
entrusted to the learned judge, my lord. There
Very
is
well. Now,
no-
Manoj, three sentences and rejoinder.
And-
Manoj. Three
Manoj,
sentences
can I
and
just
rejoinder.
complete? As far as day-to-day expenses are concerned, your lordships are absolutely right. No problem arises. I have no problems with that. That is why I am not.
And I
pushing
will
on
add,
this.
Mr. Call, I will add that no major expenditure apart from
Right.
the expenditures which are disclosed in paragraph 5 of the supplementary affidavit will be permitted by the special officer.
And my lords, my last submission, I'm very grateful, my lords, that very fairly protects the interest of both the rival factions. I'm very grateful for that. We are
But
satisfied
I'm sorry,
with
but
that.
it's at
My
paragraph.
only
Manoj,
last
can I just take
submission-
three
my
sentences?
only, just a
Mr.
minute, Dr.
Datta.
Singh. My last submission for your lordship's kind consideration is that your lordships in this order may kindly indicate that this order, the decision of the election commission, even if an interim order is to be passed, will be uninfluenced by any observations made therein, because the election commission may tomorrow pass an interim order.
No,
That will
three
not come in
sentences
the
and
way of the
rejoinder.
election commission deciding and exercising their plenary powers. If they
Now,
tomorrow
three
pass an interim order, my lads, in the matter, at least this order should not come in the way of the election commission passing
Now,
any interim order in exercise of their plenary powers. That's all that
Three or
I'm
four
saying, as and when they
Three or
decide.
four points.
As
Three or
and
four
when they
points in
decide.
rejoinder very briefly, Melis. Very briefly. Number one, Melis, what is happening here is a simple exercise of alleged power under 106. Respondent is the police. Normally, of course, the solicitor never appears for the police. Solicitor appears for the police, taking an active role in the
What is
matter.
what- I'm strongly object. Who
No,
says solicitor doesn't appear for the police?
But anyway,
I appear for the
Let me conclude the hearing and
State-
Of course, my lord, these are all, my lord,
Police
for,
in
and
normally does
also I
not.
will
I
make
see.
an attempt to
For the
complete
real.
my dictation.
my lord, these
Now,
are
Melis, can I just
the
finish
deals
my
which
Melis,
the
point
defendant
now?
is interested.
Let him
I'm
not
not-
interrupt me, Melis. Let me
All
finish my
very
finish
senior
my three
advocates
submissions.
of our country are appearing in this matter.
I would be very
Let me
responsible
clear
and
my
argue
three
that
sentences.
Consider the concern.
this is
Very
too
well.
childish an argument, my lord.
Senior
Too
advocates,
childish
then
an
let
argument.
me.
He doesn't want me to.
This
He
is
doesn't want me to do my
an
rejoinder.
argument,
That's why he's
my lord.
interrupting me. He
No,
doesn't want me to do my
sorry.
rejoinder.
What else say?
Now, Melis, my point is this.
Solicitors can
Your
always
lordship
appear
is
for the
being-
investigating.
your
agent.
lordship is being told directly or indirectly, both by Mr. Mehta and by Mr. Kaul, to whittle down the existence and running of this party to nugatory. I'll just make my points and finish in 3 minutes first. Your lordship has a order. If that order is to be stayed in status quo ante restored with a special officer, that's one part. The special officer is a safeguard, a supervisory safeguard. The special officer is not being appointed by a lordship as a new president of a Trinamool to run the party. Now, I just